So I've actually had lots of different jobs since my geriatrics fellowship. I initially started doing house calls, which is what I'm doing again today. And that's tremendously fun because you really get to see people in their context, where they're people first rather than patients. It's also interesting because you can do everything from regular outpatient care to sort of a hospital at home to hospice. So it really lets you get to exercise lots of your different clinical muscles. And actually that's one of the beauties of geriatrics. So I have worked at an outpatient clinic, so we have Lakeside Senior Medical Center at UCSF, which provides outpatient care to older patients and has, you know, social work, nursing, medicine all working together to help the patients, which is the best model of care for older patients. I then worked for a long time in a community nursing home, which was terrific too, for some of the same reasons. I mean, I think I'm feeling like I'm repeating myself, but I think one of the real beauties of geriatrics is that you get to do lots of different things, and that keeps me interested. So in the nursing home, there was an assisted living wing where people were pretty healthy, and I did outpatient well elder care. There were wings where people had lots of functional and physical disabilities but were mentally fine, and so then I treated all those diseases and handicaps. There were dementia units from where people were really healthy, walking around, but very forgetful, so they needed to be kept in a safe environment, to ones that were end-stage dementia, and people really couldn't talk or move or do too much for themselves, so getting total care. There was also a psychiatric unit, and there was a step-down unit from the hospital. So again, just a huge variety of what you get to take care of, which is exciting, and I think keeps you from getting stale and keeps you learning and excited about your work. And what else? And then I've done geriatrics consultations at the VA, where our division was based initially and still has most of our clinicians. And that's seeing older patients in the hospital who might be on the medical service, but they might also be on orthopedics or ophthalmology or some other service where they really need help taking total care of the person. Because whereas with a younger person you can sometimes isolate the fractured bone and the rest of the person functions well. In an older person, the medicines you give them to deal with the fracture may lead to some confusion, or they might metabolize it differently. It's just a more complex situation, so it helps to have a team of people with different expertise working together. And that sort of brings me to my final point. You'll see that I think in all these settings I got to work with colleagues in other fields, so always nurses, often pharmacists, almost always physical therapists and occupational therapists, social workers, just the whole array of people, and working together as a team, you're giving better care than you could do on your own, and you can focus on what you do well and also on communicating with others so that what you deliver to the patient is really everything they need to be well and functional, and that's very satisfying.